Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sal here in the building. Here to wrap up today's market action. Shout out to everybody already in the chat room. Finally, you had the day you needed to use Stock God strategy, and we're going to go over some great plays and setups using that strategy that many of us have been trading over the last 2 days. All right, and will be over the next several days to end the week. Shout out to everybody already in the chat room. LK Rob, Light 4A TV, Chase, GEX, J Bino. Who else is in here? Louis Verdon, John Krelko, Michael B. Adam Willis, good evening, sir. Good evening. John Drinkwater, what's up, man? Kenneth Roseberg, Mr. Maniac, Eban R, Ryan Reel, Londale Carter. Man, got a lot of people coming into at the beginning now. Hey, Astrid, how are you? All right, Trading Jedi, Astro Traveling, what's going on, man? Let's go ahead and get the show started, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to Trading Tickers, where we wrap up the small cap universe. For the day and try to find what could be running the next day and what we could have done better with what ran today. This was a Twitter pump to start off the show. EFLN. It had been a Twitter pump over the course of the last 2 days, as well as Thursday and Friday of last week. And it looks like it's kind of done its time now. It looks like it might be one and done for EFLN. As you can see here, you had a really good stretch in the stock last week, but it looks like it's burnt out now in EFLN. All right, but again, back to this, to the strategy. It was all about NADL. And what was really interesting about NADL, and again, so grateful to Stock God showing us his strategy the other day. This stock ran to a high of almost 300% on the day. But what was really interesting was the fact that this was a New York Stock Exchange stock. This was a New York Stock Exchange stock. It was insane, right? To see a New York Stock Exchange stock run like this. And, you want to talk about liquidity. It came, man. I'd love to see stocks on that exchange do things like this. That was very, 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 very rare. Very, very rare. All right. There are also a couple other stocks you could have done this with. But using, again, the 1 minute chart that he advises you to do, you had, in my opinion, obviously for those of you guys who saw something after 12 o'clock, I didn't see it, but before 12 o'clock, you had two setups in this stock, and they're listed here on the screen now, which was between 10 and 10 and 10.50, right? 10.10 and 10.50, and again, this that VWAP that Bad Scientist told us about, using that VWAP to identify when you're in the stock at a price that's below its current VWAP or its suggested price. All right. So shout out to VWAP teaching us, Bad Science is showing us that VWAP as well as that 8 exponential moving average and using that as well. All right. 614, call me back. I saw you wanted to call up the show. Call me back, 614. Yeah, I don't know. I looked at some of the OTC charts. I don't know how you use it for OTC. The volume comes in way too slow. The volume comes in way too slow to use his strategy for OTC. Way too slow. You know, it just I don't know. That's why I've always been, and I said it yesterday, if it works, somebody record it, and I'll be more than happy to post it and share it in the room. Otherwise, I mean, you know, we just talking. What's going on? Need a life soon? Yes, indeed. 646, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? The BVTK, was it BVTK that 0001 went to 001 today on huge volume, 2 billion traded on that.
Yeah, I saw DBMM, which is a stock that did that. I mean, I don't know. You said there was another one, like a DBRK or something like that?
I'm bringing it up now. Boy, Victor, okay. Tom, Ken. It closed at 0.001 up whatever, 900%. Something, the CEO tweeted something that they're going to have a government contract. It's amazing they're using Twitter as a news feed. I love it.
Yeah, hold on here. I fucked up my chart somehow. Let me see.
Sure, no problem.
What did I do with my chart? All right, 1 second, guys. I done fucked up my pressed it too fast. Yeah, but you find that ticker for me. God, what is that? Remove all. Yeah, remove everything. Let's just. I don't know what I did. Let's take everything off. Fuck it. Yeah, but DBMM went from. Oh no, it actually opened up at 006. All right, and then hold on. Let me,
that one too.
I'm about to do something else here.
That DBMM was the one I tweeted to you as well today.
Let's see. All right, yeah. And what's the ticker that you found again?
Sure, it was Boy. As I get my feed open, give me a sec. I think it was Boy, Victor, Tom. Come on.
Oh, Bravotech or something, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that one, yeah, that was insane, man. That went from 0001 to 00010, and it was just one of those stocks that, I mean, I don't think it had any volume for like 6 months.
That's right.
It had nothing going on for like 6 months. I mean, like, I'm even having trouble pulling up the damn chart. It's so damn rare.
You know what's interesting also on the Investors Hub board, there was no post on that as well until today. So maybe that's good. Maybe
I mean that was just a beautiful pump. Like I'm not even like pulling up any like Jesus Christ. Let me even go back to
you really inspired me with these 000 stocks to try to find them.
Yeah, see, I can pull up everything else, but for whatever reason, that one is not even like. All right, so let me go back to it real quick. BVTK.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not even pulling anything up on it. It's so rare and unused. But yeah, go ahead and explain to the people why. I mean, obviously, you know, it got, you know, your attention today.
There's there was a tweet that came out about some military contract that they're supposedly received. That's. And what else? And it also says here that they confirmed there's no reverse split just now in that tweet.
Now, how much?
They closed the big piece.
I'm curious, like, how much do you believe that they actually got that contract?
I'm not going to say.
Sure.
I don't have enough information. Well, your thoughts? I don't. With this stuff, you wonder.
Right. No, I'm not sure either.
There's no news. No.
I can't even find any news here. I can't even find any news here at all on it. So, yeah, just one of those.
I didn't risk a lot of money. I'm very careful with these things.
Oh,
like you said, you don't need
you're
to
in the
waste a lot of
stock.
money.
You're in the stock right now.
I'm in it. Yeah, I got
Okay.
in at 0006, so
Okay.
I'm up a little bit.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. Can you also go over the DOLV? I'm in that one, and in the last 12 minutes trading, it took a real dump from, it was as high as I think
Yeah.
0.086 down to 0.055 and closed at 0.062
Yeah.
in that last few minutes.
Yeah, I got it on my
One.
I got it on my screen now. Here I'm looking at the 5-minute chart on DOLV, and it's so crazy because before I started the show, I saw that I was wondering if anybody would bring that up. Yeah, I mean it was a sell off, man. I mean somebody who's got a ton of shares, looking to
Right.
cash out. I mean that's basically what happened. Probably knocked out some other people's, you know. Let me see here. Oh wow, yeah. See, and the stock has been up. You're up over 120%, or you were up over 120% from the 7th. So,
Right.
so I don't know, man. I think this is kind of almost too good to be true for a while. But you know what? I honestly think that the money's going to come back in and buy that up. The money's going to come back and buy that up just because the way I've been watching people talk about DOLV on Twitter and as well as some of the message boards is as if you guys don't want to see this stock die. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And one more, and I'm good. AMLH tomorrow. They're supposed to have that big trade show in New York City. The AMLH and the CEO. He tweeted today that he sent all his information into OTC to get it current. That he's just waiting on them. I mean, it's been trending in a channel. It's been trending in the channel, and I know, like you said that, hey, you could have put $100 in there at 00001,
Yeah.
and it would be worth a crazy amount of money. Right
Oh
now.
yeah, I mean, I mean, if you could have saw this coming, yeah, I mean, you would have been easily, high five, low six figures. I mean, it's absolutely insane what this stock has done. But I mean, today was a huge setback for the stock because you had certain people who had brokers who could not do anything with the stock. They couldn't sell, they couldn't buy. So I mean, just a huge setback for the stock. Luckily, you didn't have a huge overreaction. From other traders who could have bought and sold the stock at even greater quantities because, these other traders were out. So,
Right.
I really hope he did submit that information. I really hope he did because that needs to go back current to begin because you have a lot of investors who won't touch a stock that's not current. So
That's right.
We'll see. Hopefully that gets changed ASAP because that's going to hold the stock back.
Right. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, all right.
All right. So I was really disappointed to see that on AMLH, but I kind of figured that almost because this weekend I hit the CEO up and I said, hey, can we get some updated financials? Because I didn't want to make that point at the time because I didn't want to come off as a hater that if he doesn't submit updated financials, this thing is going to go to the red sign based on these moves that the stock has been making. All right. OTC markets will up that really quick because they'll say, look, oh, wow, this stock is really moving. People are really buying. All right, let's go through some of their financials. Oh, hey, they're missing this and this and that. All right, here we go. Stop sign for that one. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Van, you said you saw a video that I don't trade? That's ridiculous. Trust me, I wouldn't be wasting my time here if I didn't trade. Okay, you said you bought AMLH at the close at 0052. Jason, if that's your first time getting in, maybe you got it at a great discount, man. Maybe you got it at a great discount. What's going on, Ryan? Gets it? It's so funny you bring up Plug, man. You bring up Plug, and on the 5-minute chart, the 5-minute chart shows you some entries where you could have got in here. But in the 1 minute, when I was looking at it on the 1 minute, I didn't see it. The 5 minute shows you some really good entries, but I didn't see it on the 1 minute. 704, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, it's Astrid.
Hey,
how are
Astrid,
you?
doing good. How are you? I mean, I saw you express yourself today on AMLH. What happened there today?
Yeah, so I didn't know. I saw the question that you posted about, the financials.
Yeah.
What I didn't know was that if he didn't submit them or if they weren't submitted, that stop sign would be up. So I said to you, oh, cool, great question. Then today,
Right.
I'm like, okay, I think it's going to dip because it was such a great run yesterday, and that's what's been happening with this stock. There's a great run, and then it dips. So I was like, okay, I'll get some, tell my mama, my daddy, my cousin, and then I see a stop sign.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck? And I couldn't, nothing could happen because I have Fidelity. So I tweeted him about that and said, hey, what's going on? I can't do anything. And it was like that all day. But I did see, he said that he was waiting for the OTC to grant them access. He submitted what he needed to submit to the Secretary of State. And, we should be good. He was on his way to, New York? Wherever that conference is. It's either in New York or Las Vegas for tomorrow. So, we'll see. I was hoping to get a few on the dip, but, I'm pretty good with my position. So, yeah, that was pretty, I was on edge a little bit about that because I just felt stuck, and then I didn't know what that was going to mean for the stock because a lot of us, whether Capital One, Fidelity, I don't know what other brokerage firm wouldn't allow that stock to be traded.
Right.
So, but it ended at what, double 52, which isn't bad, right? Yeah, so that's not bad. So I'm still in that one. USRM gave me a mini heart attack. That went back down to.
Yeah, I don't. What's going on? What's going on with USRM?
Oh my! I don't know. The news came out about the. They needed to reactivate. I gotta find my notes.
I'm seeing it here.
Something needed
receives
to be
reactivation
reactivated.
status with the V
Right.
with the FDA.
Right, and in order for the FDA to approve a study, it has to be active. So I take that as good news as well as some others because they're reactivating the study, right? FDA can't approve something that's not activated. And that video by Peter Leeds, he posted a real hateration video on USRM.
It's so funny. I talked about that a little bit yesterday, and I would be. I mean, the thing about him is like he doesn't really have a following. I think he's got like 4,000 or something people, and I don't know. But at the end of the day, I mean, people watch that, people spread that. But yeah, Astrid, I'm seeing some people in the chat room saying don't fall in love with it, and I mean they're absolutely right. I mean, I know they've got some real things going on. And Astrid, I think you're still up in the stock, right?
I still am, and I'm not in love with UCRM. I mean, I'm holding this for long. I'm gambling with it. I'm really just holding out for this FDA. I think I'm more if I had to say I'm in love with the stock, it's AMLH just because of everything that I see going on, and I see the potential. But I'm just having some patience, and I'm waiting. I'm not just getting out at the sign of red. I'm not like, okay, screw this. I'm still holding on and waiting. And if I lose, okay, lesson learned. And if I win, awesome.
Right.
And I just want to give a shout out to Stock God and TB. They talked me off the ledge today because I was having one of those moments of just frustration. It's hard when you work 9 to 5 and you can't really do what it is you want to do with some of these stocks. I had the stop signs going on, and then I'm seeing some other trades I'd like to make, but every time I'm trying to do something, I got to click off of my screen, and things like that. So what I realize is I really need to come up with a strategy while I have this 9 to 5 where I can find a stock and try to make some money. So I had a conversation with Stock God and with TB, and they really helped me out with trying to formulate that strategy. So I just want to say shout out to them again. Thank you for helping me out with that. I feel good. I feel like I know what I need to do, which is really cut some of my losses and use that to rebuild and focus on some momentum trades and stuff like that. So I appreciate everyone in the group, and I appreciate you and everyone that offers their opinions and advice and so forth. So
Thank
that's
you,
it.
Astrid. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
All right. So appreciate Astrid for her watching and her taking the time out to learn, man. So many people would just give up and quit and all that. So we're appreciative of Astrid taking the time out to learn, man. Yes, indeed. You know, nobody here has a problem helping anybody else. Shout out to Stock God. I see him in the chat room. And again, I don't want to beat the, continue to say thank you every 5 minutes. But, at the end of the day, I think many of us here, are grateful that finally you have a strategy where it's okay to go in with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for once. For one time, I'm actually like pretty cool with taking a $6,000 or $7,000 or $8,000 position, and I'm all right with it. I could never do that with a lot of these pennies, right? I could never really do that. You guys know on the show, we talk about $300 to maybe $800 positions, and having to see what develops over multiple days and whatnot. And this is the first time where somebody has came onto the show and clearly explained, and that's the biggest problem, that people come on and they don't explain it clearly, but he clearly explained how to make some money using his strategy. All right. There was one stock today that I thought would be the home run play based on the killer earnings that they came out with, which was PYDS. Even though PYDS was, it was the NASDAQ play and did really well, the volume dried up. But you still had the opportunity in the morning. But that morning volume wasn't as strong. So I was like, I wasn't sure. I missed it. That morning volume wasn't that strong. So, let me put the RSI back there on there. Let me put the RSI back on. Let me put the RSI because that'll probably make sense, right? Let me put the RSI back on here. All right, darken that up a little bit more. All right, let's switch positions. Let's make this a little smaller. All right, so you guys see where I'm at? You see it now? You see it clearly on PYDS? If you would have nailed that, that would have been huge, from 140 to a high of 217. That would have been a killer move if you nailed that. So if somebody did nail it, you let me know, because again, I wasn't able to. I second guessed myself on that one. I thought that was going to be the winner because of that earnings report. I'm looking at the fact that it's relatively low float. Volume in the stock wasn't much to begin with. So I knew the volume was going to show up, and it did, but it just ended up dying out. Yes, indeed. That would have been a huge win for me. 614, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal. How you doing, sir? K. Harvey.
Hey, what's going on with you, K. Harvey?
Bruh, it's a happy day for me. I played this thing like a fiddle. And it all started with my boy Sal with the pick. So we're going to go in with ELED.
Okay. ELED. Right, now, here's the thing on ELED, because a lot of guys, and I'm going to be the first to admit, we told you to sell this yesterday, but the stock continued to go up.
Well, your advice is very important to me. And like I stated, obviously last year I started out fundamentals, and a lot of the stuff you taught me last year was just that. Mm-hmm. And then this year, about 2 weeks ago, I decided to come back into it. But I had never done sub pennies ever. Mm-hmm. And, obviously I made a couple of dollars off of the USRM. Guys told me to sell. I sold that. You remember the $200 buy that I did with GFPN or whatever before they did the reverse flop. I sold that a couple of dollars. So what I didn't tell you was the $425 commitment that I made yesterday were all off of the proceeds of those other stocks that I actually made $100, $200. They added up to $425. So I was already in on a market play, but my boy who I traded with, he made a deal with me. He stated that he'll pay for half of my plane ticket if I'm able to flip my account, You know what I mean? From $750. Because, Sal, if you remember.
Oh, you be able to buy your own plane ticket if you keep this up.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is that I'm going to tell you what happened today. So I went on in and the 450 on that was all proceeds from the other stocks that I was doing because I have a plan on how, building up my account. For those who don't know me, I do, I have physical. I do the physical gold and silver. So I actually cash in a half an ounce, pay the bill, and then threw in $500. Mm-hmm. So I call it controlled chaos. So no matter what I do, all of this is on the basis of $500. I got to flip the $500 and build the account up that way.
Got it.
So with that being said, I used all that. I've been doing it. And then I went and I seen your tick on Tuesday, a.k.a. the Twitter feed on this stock. And I plumped in, remember yesterday, 0108. And everybody in the chat room kept saying that it's iHub. It's like, guys, we got a group. No matter what's going on, we're going to buy these stocks. And, of course, obviously the information that we hear is just, just that information. Mm-hmm. But the chart that you sent me was one of the most beautiful charts I've seen in a minute, Sal. So I was like, let me go ahead and test this out. So today, at my job, I'm able to get away for a little bit. In fact, my boss is behind me. I told him, listen, from 9:30 to 10 o'clock, you need to leave me alone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everything that I do is off my phone. You know what I mean? So I went in today. The thing shoots up to $1.05. I listen to what you say, and I sell 29,000 of my 39,000 shares for my seed money, which is my initial investment, and I keep 10 on the table. So now 10,000 shares is on the market, and I got the cake and eat it too. But the thing started to drop, that twice, and I just was like, I'm just gonna let it be what it be, right. And I wait, and then all of a sudden it just runs. So. A lot of people have said before, and I listen to everything. You had told us last year when you was teaching us fundamentals, a lot of times, my friend included, when a lot of things go over to a penny or a stock that's reaching a new high, they'll go ahead and start fizzing in that new money. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like why I did what I did. I didn't just keep the $100. I stated, well, if they do see that and it comes across somebody scanning, and these guys are buying up the stock like they say, supposedly, mm-hmm. I have an outside chance if it keep going up. And sure enough, as you can see, that thing went like wildfire after 11:30, 11:45. It just kept on, bro. Yeah. So that $100 that I was going to run with, I actually turned it into $180 a day. While I still have my seed money back. And you already know, first thing in the morning, I'm putting it in bed, grab that out, and like my boy always say, go to the next opportunity. That's how I played that, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, K. Harvey, letting us know your success on that trade, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Obviously, As soon as the funds settle, I'll get a little care package over to you via, your funding account. But I also want to say this real quick, Sal. And like I said, bro, I want to thank BAP Scientists, and then also your boy Stock God. The way I'm doing it, guys, is to kind of go over that PT rules. I started out with $100 a day. This is how I'm doing it. And I flipped that $100 into $200 minus the charge, of course. And every day of the week, now I have a new amount of money, to actually trade on my stocks with. That's how I'm building it up. And as of now, I'm so excited to say that as of Thursday, Sal, I've already built it up to where I can do $600 buys.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what I mean?
Wow.
And I'm actually creating it. The way I'm doing it is 5 days a week, 600 a day equals $3,000. So every day, at least once a day, I have those funds available to where I can actually make a play. And I'm sticking with my sub pennies. I go in, I don't even have to make a whole lot. Of a $600 play, if you buy in at 04 and it goes up to 06, that's a $300 profit. If y'all hear me do the numbers later, and that's all I'm doing. That's all I have been doing. But I've been practicing the last 2 weeks with the smaller amounts of money. Just to prove to myself that I can flip this 500 or this 750 and a 1500. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm gonna continue to do. I'll never go above 2 cents again. I'm done. I'm a sub penny. I love trading these. I appreciate all you guys help. And like I said, I haven't looked at any videos, guys. I haven't done anything, and I trade off on my phone, and it's all because of Sai. And then everybody that I run to, and I was, shout out to Miss Petaway. I seen her in the room last night. She was one of the beginners that began with it. So that's my story. And I mean, this is for real. The only difference between me, I've never ever played a pump and dump. I actually try to find real companies that, put my money in. So for some reason a button gets stuck or whatever, I have an outside chance to get my money back one day. But I'm stuck pennies right now, Sal, and I appreciate you, bro. Like I said, that's my story. That's how I'm doing it. Now I can allow myself starting next week to actually play. I'm going to tell y'all how I'm doing the $600 trade Thursday. I didn't even know something about Good Friday. The market's not even open on Friday.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so anyway, appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, K. Harvey. Thank you so much for the call, man. I'm just so struck by the difference in opinions. You know what I'm saying? The difference in opinions. You got some guys in the chat room who won't even touch a sub-penny stock. So I'm just struck by the difference of opinions. And that's what trading is, man. You're gonna find, whatever it is that you like and your niche. You know what I'm saying? Your niche. I was watching one of Stock God's videos and he was talking how, you got some guys who've got, 100 million indicators on their screen, and you got some guys who only have volume, and that's all they use is volume and level 2. That's all they're looking at all day. So you're going to find, little ways to make yourself some money, and you're going to find markets that make you money and that you're more comfortable with. So that's working for K. Harvey. All right. NAK goes down on 5.9 million from public gross offering, NAKD. Well, public offerings are dilution. It's dilution, though. Prolix. Nobody wants to be a part of a public offering. Nobody wants to be a part of that. As you can see what happened here on NAKD when that news came out. All right. And by the way, that would have been a really nice bottom feed trade for somebody too, by the way. It opened up at, so you actually opened up at 214. Oh, wow. So never mind. I thought it opened up at the 250s. You actually opened up at 214 and then crashed. You were already crashed before it opened. Oh, there was nothing really you can do with that then. Never mind. Yeah, I see a dip buy there. Shit. That's horrible, man. Yeah, I guess investors in the stock who were already going in it, long, did not like that news, man. Yeah, they bought it up, though. Obviously, they bought it up from the open all the way to a high of $2.30. So they bought it up. Yes, they did. They did buy it up. All right, so the topic of the show, is, it should be what to watch for pre-market. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but because I'm seeing here, it looks like it was something different. But what to watch for pre-market. I want you guys to call up and tell me, what do you look for pre-market? Okay, what is it that you look for? Obviously, we know the floats that move stocks, but, how do you go about, do you look at news? Some people don't even care about news. Give me your plan of attack for the morning. That's what I'd love to know. Anyway, let me get this caller real quick. 719, you're on the air. What's up?
Hello, Cal.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing, man?
Doing good. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Carl.
All right. And what you got for us today, man?
Sal, listen, I started following you probably about 3 weeks ago. When I say follow you, I was watching your YouTube videos, and you have really, really got me intrigued. And I am thinking about venturing off into penny stocks as well. And I'm finding, obviously, that I don't have the foundational knowledge that I need to just do basic trades. Sure. And I was wondering if you have any foundational information that I can get to that would give me an idea. I'm sitting there watching you on your show, and watching, and you guys are talking a language that obviously I really don't understand, and I desperately want to understand it to the point that I'll know how to identify something to potentially purchase. I'll have the tools, if there's software that I need, whatever it is to make it easier to do. That's where I'm at. I am literally at ground zero neophyte.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for watching my show. I really appreciate you for doing that. If you want to send me an email, like I've sent so many of the beginners on my show, I'll send you some instruction on how to download some DVDs that many beginners have watched, some very popular traders on YouTube. I have a collection of their videos, and I share that a lot to the beginners. And I will send you instructions on how to download those DVDs so you can start learning, how to exactly what we're doing here, how to profit from it, and, the lingo. So send me an email. My email is happypennystocks@gmail.com.
Happy, Happy,
Penny Stocks.
Penny Stocks, PENNY.
happypennystocks@gmail.com.
Okay.
And I'll send you that information. I'll also send you instructions on how to get into our Discord room, which has a great community of traders there who are more than happy to answer your questions. They also do some shows after my show. So there's more than enough resources, for you to be introduced to, and I'm more than happy to do that. So go ahead and send me that email, though, and we'll go ahead and get started from there. Okay?
My name is Charles, and I appreciate you referring me to other resources. At this point in time, I have made a choice that you will be my guru, okay, one at a time. And I heard you just mention a few minutes ago, and I know you've got a show to do, but there's so many varying opinions. And at this point in time, with me being new, a lot of information is probably not what I want. Not at this point. I want, somebody that I've developed a trust in, just listening to you, and seeing how passionate you are about what you're attempting to do. I want to stick with you and get my foundation in place. And at that point, once I'm able to understand what I'm doing, then I will start partaking of the other resources that you might refer me to.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Send me that email, sir, and we'll get started from there.
I'm Charles, and it'll come from Charles, and I'll get that to you within the hour.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it. 719. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, we'll go ahead and yeah, we'll definitely hook you up. I do suggest that, you might change your mindset on the idea of getting information from a singular source, with this, because it's such a complicated science, and it is a science. You actually want to keep your ears and eyes open to all the information you can absorb about how to do this better, because not one person has all the answers. And in fact, you will come to the conclusion that it's good to take a little bit from everyone and develop, what works best for you. All right. 270, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, this is Olivia.
Hey, Olivia, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I want to give a shout out to Stock God for inviting the chat room on Twitter, and I've been picking up all kinds of tickers from all kinds of different investors, and I'm very thankful for that. I've got a few questions on some of them, because today, I decided to pull out half of the shares of USEI, which I still own 100,000 shares in them. And then I put an order. Originally, I put an order in for HIPH, and then I canceled it because I talked to somebody else. It was a 000 play.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't doing anything. I mean, we only had $7,000 hit the bid, so it just wasn't going anywhere today. And obviously, it ended with no movement today.
I canceled the order. So, and I was going to ask you about a couple of others. Let's see. Somebody told me, okay, this guy he's in the chat room, but he doesn't watch the show. IMTV.
OTC. Okay. Yeah, don't know much about this stock. You tell me what's going on here. Obviously, very, very few buys in this one as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of going off what I've been sitting here. I'm honestly going OCD with this. I've been sitting here writing a journal. I haven't had time to go and study. I've got them all on my watch list, but I have to go and study. And then I also was talking to some people, and they were talking about hot stocks possibly for tomorrow on the 12th. FNMA.
Okay, all right. So that's FNMA. That's obviously the Fannie Mae stock. It does very well. Obviously, this is a little bit more of a complicated play because you're gonna have to understand what's going on with housing rates and the situation with the Fed and things like that. But yes, definitely a runner that's very, very liquid.
Okay. And also another one, NAK.
Oh, now this is Prolix. I think Prolix is still in the chat room. This is definitely one of his plays. This is the what's they call it? The Alaskan miner that is waiting for approval for Donald Trump to approve some land that right now is being protected under some federal regulations from being able to be mined. So they need approval from Donald Trump to get to those properties, which they speculate could be worth in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Holy shit! Yeah. Are you serious?
Well, that's if that happens. That's if that happens.
Yeah, that's if that happens.
Right.
With being a Republican, coal mine, like especially here in Kentucky. I mean, whenever Obama was in office, the coal miners lost all their jobs, basically. I mean, it was ridiculous. And now, more coal mines are opening back up. So that might be a pretty good play. I think I'm going to honestly, I think I'm going to take your advice from last night about the AMLH. And, I mean, because you told me buy in the red. So I'm going to do that. But I'm going to study. I'm going to, like I said, I've got a whole journal of these stocks. I've just got to study them some more before, and I'm going to do that tonight before, the market opens tomorrow and see what their company's about, what everything is, because I did pull out a bunch of money, and like I said, I canceled that one stock.
Yeah, and what you're doing is the right thing. I mean, making sure you're doing your research and understanding what these companies are doing. Obviously, don't believe in a story too much. Always do your due diligence.
Yeah.
But you're on the right path. You're on the right path. And speaking about MALH, as long as they get those financials in, so just be very aware of that. I would wait until those actually probably even get in, because they need to get in ASAP in order for that to keep climbing like it used to.
I mean, it's kind of an expensive. I mean, that's the kind of an expensive stock, but it would be worth it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm just starting out, but I've become so obsessed with this that it's I don't know. Like, I've been sitting here for 6 hours on this chat room talking to people, and I haven't had time to do my research. But like I said, I want to give a shout out to all the people in the chat room, especially Stock God and Astrid. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call. And look, I'm glad she's falling in love with it. I'm absolutely glad. 270. Yeah, she said she's from Kentucky. And shout out to the coal miners getting back to work, man. I'm never against anybody being able to feed their families. So never against that at all. So shout out to the coal miners and NAK might get it. You know, they've been waiting for some time now. Looks like the stock is settled down. We got the day chart here. So if you're looking to swing, you know, from what it appears like since the, you know, beginning of March, you've got some support here. So do your research on that, see where they are at. All right. And Stock Guy just said in the chat room, glad to have you in that chat room. So it's never wrong to learn. Never wrong to learn. All right. So I appreciate the call, Olivia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So again, going back to my topic, I want to know what you guys do to start off your morning. All right. I want to hear from somebody who, you know, is willing to share what you guys do in your morning. Obviously, for my instance, is just, you know, a quick screen on Equity Feed. Again, I'm biased, so Equity Feed, 2 weeks free. Sign up. No credit card required. She lets me know off the top what the hottest stocks pre-market are. Some people use Benzinga. Some people use some other free sources like Market Watch and whatnot. I've heard CNBC has something where they send you an email in the morning of pre-market runners. Astrid said she's praised. Okay, that's what's up. I mean, pray. You know, let me know. But I'm just thinking that, man, Stock God, he might put me out of business, if anything, but in a good way, though. I'm putting myself out of business in a good way because, you know, as I've been saying now for 2 days, I don't have to do, you know, using his strategy. I'm already going to place my longs for the OTCs, right? So you're already going to do that. You know, your lottery plays. You're going to put your 100, your 200 or whatever in there for the lottery plays. But intraday, I don't have to do any research. I really don't have anything to do. You know, because you already know what's hot and you just following and looking for pattern and recognition. Treasure Hunter, you're on the air. What's up, man?
What's happening, Sal? What's happening, bro?
What's going on?
Pretty good day in the market, man.
Yeah, today was wild. Yeah. Today was, by the way, the best day for small caps in the last, I want to say they said last 60 days, last 2 months. According to CNBC. Yeah. So definitely small caps leading the month already in April.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I want to say sorry, bro. I missed yesterday's show, bro. You must have did like a Florida car illegal street race or something. Late at night, quick and easy or something. You know, in and out kind of thing. I didn't even know you was having a show yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yesterday was a late show. I ended up waking up late because I had some damn Chinese food. But, we back at it. Yeah, man, we back at it.
Sweet. Little food poisoning. I understand. I would say I was looking at, two stocks today, bro. Caught my eye. The, let me see, SYN, you know what I'm saying? I hopped in that little fake out just by, reading the charts kind of thing. And then
this is oversold now here on the daily chart. What are you expecting to come out of this now? It looks like, wow, this has been beat up for the last month and a half or so. Now RSI is at 18 for the stock. I'm not sure. Of course, you're going to have to do some research on where the stock is financially.
I don't be doing all that research.
Well, I'm talking to people. I'm talking to people in the chat room. I mean, make sure that the company is not going to drop a bankruptcy filing on you. But it's good to at least know that, information.
Yeah. Another one was NADL. I mean, two of them. Let's see, SYN. It was, just ended up being, like nothing. I ain't lose nothing on it. Just maybe an opinion. And I was scared to hop in NADL because it had, learned from your show, bro. It's so much air. The bitch opened high already.
Yeah.
And then had so much air underneath. You know what I'm saying? And I figured that it'd probably end up dying down towards the end of the day. And I said, man, what the fuck that, man? I'm gonna go ahead and drop a little something, man. Around about, I think I got in 240, 2047. Yeah, man, and it kept, it was almost like dries, bro. And you could have dropped a house note in that bitch today, bro. And it was like it went down and went up, Soon it went down, buyers came in, and I was scared because I know it had been people in there way before, me. Hey, matter of fact, do you jump in that today?
Yes, NADL was the play today. I mean, again, if you had saw the episode from yesterday, I mean, most of the show we were all kind of frustrated because we got a lot of fake outs from yesterday that didn't build up on the strategy. And sure enough, today NADL was just perfect, man. It just was perfect. And we had two times. Yeah, you had actually two times to get into NADL, and the setups were just perfect. I mean, you really couldn't ask for any better setups in NADL. So, we'll see how it continues to play out tomorrow. It was really interesting because I don't know. I would even want to hear from other people who played it today as well, because at the end of the day, we saw volume come into NADL, which was very suspicious because as I had been studying his strategy, I realized that it's really, I mean, after 12, 2 o'clock-ish, it's pretty much a no-go, you know what I mean? So to see NADL run so late in the day at 2:30, get on a run, that was really interesting. So we'll see what happens with that stock tomorrow, if this is going to be a 2-day situation or is it one and done for NADL.
Yeah, I was going to ask what fancy indicators do. Let me see. Man, I got a little bone to pick with you, Mr. South. I didn't even know the old videos still floating around out there. When we first started out way back when, I called one of the I think it was truck driver called in. He was busting on us when we first started out.
Oh yeah, all the old episodes are still up, man. All the old episodes. The only one I don't have is basically
when
one.
First started out,
the very first episode, because I didn't even know it wasn't even recording, man. We did the whole fucking episode. I think we went 5 hours, and then I realized it wasn't even recording, so it was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Oh man, yeah. Only if they can see one. Yeah. And then what I was gonna say, bro, from way back when to now. We still sort of doing the same. I'm still reading the charts. Yeah. You still doing those fancy indicators. I don't know if Lloyd's still playing detective. Find out when these people eat shit, what time they get up in the morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking more of those tickers, man. I remember the first one that brought up the drone thing. I think it was INVN from way back when. Bro, if I would have kept that bitch a year ago, 2016, look where it is now. Yeah. The price on it. And I always wanted to do a camper play. That would have been one of the campers to camp on, huh?
Let me see here. This is INVN. Yeah. That would have been a very. It hasn't done that much. I mean, what is that? No, it actually hasn't done shit.
You lose and then going bankrupt.
Yeah, it ain't done really that much. Yeah.
Yeah, just throwing that out there kind of thing. Another thing, I'm going to focus more into these 000 plays, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's where the money's at, because I can read the charts on the Spencer plays and, the penny plays, 000s. I got a strategy for it. I'm just going to straight piggyback that bitch, bro. That's my strategy for these 000s. Piggyback.
That's what I got, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call, bro.
Anytime, man. You got it, man. Anytime.
All right. So somebody call up and give me some damn strategy. Oh, my God. You guys are killing me. Shout out to Treasure Hunter, man. Appreciate the call, bro. Appreciate the call, man. All right. Call me up and let's share some game. You guys know the number is on the screen. Call me up. Give us some game. Help these people out. What are they to look for in the morning? What are they to look for in the morning? All right. 203, you're on the air. What's up?
Yes, hi, Sal. My name's Ronald. I'm a truck driver. I've been listening to you for a little while now.
Yes, sir.
I have a sticker here, TLFX. Bought this a year ago. They cut a deal with Verizon and had 1 million shares. It went up in values of $5,000. I didn't sell it then. And then it dropped, and then they had a reverse stock split, and where I ended up with 55,000 shares instead of a million. And I was wondering what you think about this stock. All last week it's been dropping and bouncing back up. It was around this time last year when it took off. Do you see anything?
Nah, man. Looks like volumes has dried up. Hey, if you can lower me in the background, please.
Okay. All right. I had you on speaker. Sorry about that. I'm sitting in the semi-truck.
Yeah, so it looks like volume is kind of, dried up, man. I mean, you're down to only 3,000 shares traded. I think you kind of, know the answer to this yourself. Obviously, when the stock had gotten, that high to almost, to the high 12s up there, probably should have sold it then.
Right.
Now we're at 6 cents a share, right?
Yeah, we're at roughly 6 cents a share. It's been going down all last week, but it would go right back up to that 6 cents a share. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if it was going to break through, or.
Yeah. I think, man, if you're still in profit, I'd probably just go ahead and take it and walk away from it, or wait for maybe some kind of powerful news like you got the first time around. I mean, when you get a gain like that, you always, they always say for you to walk off, and taking that money off the table, man, because you never know how quickly it can disappear when you're dealing with these, stocks that trade over the counter. So, with that being said, I think those are the only two things you can do: either wait for powerful news like that again, or just take what you got now and look for a different setup.
Yeah, I got another symbol for you, QUIL. It's a oil play. I've seen this stock go up to $1, over $1, when oil prices was up high. And I'm thinking, Trump's in office, the oil prices will probably start rising again soon in this stock. It's been dormant for a little while now. But
now, what's that ticker again? Because I'm not seeing it.
QUIL. The letter QUIL.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything on that, man. I'm not getting any. Maybe somebody in the chat room can, but yeah, I'm not getting any tickers on.
Try QOIL. I believe that's a U, but it could be QOIL. It might have.
All right, so I'm looking at maybe some past history of a QUILL. And that looks like it's no longer trading right now. It used to be called Quill Corporation.
Let
me see here.
I'm not sure. I would have to. Yeah. Okay, it's QOIL.
Okay, Let me see. QOIL. Okay. Quest Oil Incorporated. Oh, okay, 0001. One of those. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is if you're in at 0001, I mean, all you can do right now is it's a lottery ticket, so you're just basically just gonna have to wait and see if your number's called on this one, man. Like all 0001s, that's just pretty much the waiting game.
Yeah, but that first one, you think is just either wait it out or just sell it or.
Well, I mean, if you're going to have any takers, I mean, my problem is right now I haven't seen that the stock has put out any news. Even when I buy OTC triples or doubles, I like to see that the company is actually active, putting out news, updating financials, just showing that they're doing something, because that in itself, gives you at least a sense of idea that, hey, maybe something could happen. Whereas, you get into some of these triples that haven't done anything, which is the situation where QOIL is. I don't see any financials. The last financials submitted was 2010. Don't see that there have been any recent purchases in some time. So, yeah, I think this is looks like I see a purchase back on 4/3, which is the last one I see. For this month. So yeah, I would just probably just dump this and move on.
Okay. Okay, and that's that first symbol that we were talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That first. Oh, okay.
That's QOIL.
All right, thank you. I enjoy your show. You know, I'm a truck driver, so I'm always watching on YouTube. So keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. Call back anytime. Appreciate all my truck drivers calling me up, man. I got a lot of truck drivers who watch me, so I appreciate you guys, man, for watching. But yeah, that was that QOIL. It was a lottery ticket probably when he bought it, and it still is. He could find himself, getting really lucky. Maybe get a company that reverse splits into the company and changes the ticker and whatnot. He can get lucky that way, but they tend to cancel out the shares when they do that too. So we'll see. 850, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, this is Shamika.
How are you? It's been a minute.
Yeah, just checking on you.
Yes. Everything's going well. I'm curious, have you been trading or have you been looking at anything?
No, not as of late. I'm just now getting back in the game.
Okay.
So, of course, I came back to the show.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm definitely glad to have you watching again. And obviously, Ms. Bedaway, if you have any stocks that pop up or, interesting insight, give us a call.
Oh, I will. I just wanted to let you know that I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Watch you go from 30 to 200 plus watching. Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Travie. Hey, Travie, how are you?
Yeah,
how are you?
A lot of the people who were watching they're still here. They're still here, and we're glad to have you back, Shamika. I really am.
All right, awesome.
Thank you so much, and call back anytime. Yeah, she was one of our first. She was one of our first ladies to watch the show. Yeah, oh yeah, that's Petaway. That's Miss Petaway. She was one of the first ladies to watch the show. I've always figured we had a couple ladies who were like, low key, just kind of like peeking in and out. You know what I'm saying? But she would actually like participate in the chat room and whatever. You know what I'm saying? 541, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Sal? This is Ryan Gets It right here, man.
Hey, Ryan, what's up with you, man?
Ain't too much, man. Just want to let you know, man, on my side, man, I live on the West Coast, so the market opens up at 6:30 on my end. So I wake up about 4:30 every morning.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot how early you guys have to be up in order to make some money.
Oh, yeah, it's worth it. How I trade, man, I usually pick like 2 to 3 stocks a week, and I do info on those stocks for a straight week. And Monday morning of next week, I usually put the trade on after like 30 minutes after the market opens.
Okay. Now, how long are you? I mean, obviously, you're doing your research. It's taking you some time. So, how long are you holding the stocks for? Like after you put in your order.
Well, I play options, and I got a few OTCs that I've been holding for a while. Like I have one OTC called USMJ, and I bought USMJ at 0003. And put it to you like this, I'm still holding strong in that. Yeah. But basically, guys, I do options, and the options that I play for the week right now is PLUG. I bought a couple calls in PLUG. I think PLUG is going to do something hopefully this week. What's her name? Astrish? Is her name Astrish? I wanted to tell her the USRM play. I read about how some people went blind during that stem cell test, so maybe that has something to do with it. Other than that, that's about it.
Now, where did you read that? I guess where it isn't important, but like when did you read that? I guess like is that something recent or?
No, that was around. I've been on USRM for a while. That was around March let's see, that was around March 15th. Stem cell clinics treatments left 3 patients blind, doctor says.
Damn. And that was the USRM study?
Yeah. Yes, stem cell company.
Damn.
Like I said, guys, if you guys are going to put money into these stocks, sometimes you got to really, really dig deep in these companies. Because sometimes, man, the stuff one internet company says, the other internet company can say the total opposite. One company says they're doing good, the other company saying it's telling you to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So basically, I wouldn't trust anybody else's information but your own.
Mm-hmm.
Do your own research, make up your own watch list, and just do your research. You know, everybody wants to become a millionaire overnight. Hey, if you do that, kudos to you. You know, but it really takes hard work to find that one stock that can really do good. You know.
Obviously, Ryan gets it.
Say, man.
You bought some options here, and Craig G puts out a really interesting point. You bought options on a $2 stock. Obviously, you know you're looking for this stock to do a huge move here. What do you see in Plug that makes you want to go out and take some options on this stock? You know.
Well, on Plug, I saw that they had some things going in with Amazon, and I know Amazon is doing great right now. So I think if Plug can get their fuel cells, like the fuel cell maker on Amazon, and Amazon starts selling it through their warehouse, we're talking about worldwide. We're talking about global numbers, you know?
Sure. Okay.
And I've been watching Plug for a while. Plug started off just like USMJ in the pennies. It took a while to get it up there, but
very true.
Research,
that is true. I remember when Plug was a joke of a stock, and yeah, you're absolutely right on that. That Plug, was once I want to say sub $1, wasn't it? Something like that back when.
Yeah, Sal. I remember watching PLUG on here when it was like what in the 15 cents, 17, something like that.
Yeah, 20. If you go back to 2013, the stock is sold off. I mean, the stock sold off in 2015, but yeah, PLUG was once very depressed stock.
Yeah. Let's see. That's about it. I've been watching. I took OWCP. I've been watching OWCP too, a little bit. Just need a little bit more volume in it. If OWCP can see some strong volume in the morning, I say during midday it should just do something right. But you know how these new traders come in and they watch all those Tim Syke videos and they want to short everything. So you know how that goes.
You sound like you kind of hate that right now, man. I mean, obviously they're shorting the stock. Let me see, 61 cents. Yeah, I guess there's still some meat on that bone for them to jump on that.
Oh yeah, man. That's what I say, man. Everybody watch those DVDs, man, and they're spending like $3,000 just to make $200. It's crazy.
There it is, man. Appreciate it.
Other than that, Sal, that's it for me, my man. Other than that, guys, I'm hoping USMJ does something great for 420. Their first day to open for business is on 420, and then they got the expo going on in Texas this weekend. So yeah, man. Hopefully this hold is going to do great. But in my opinion, guys, I'm going to sell at $1 even to let you guys know.
There it is.
Okay, I believe in USMJ, and I'm gonna let you guys know I'm gonna sell my shares at $1 even.
0007 to $1, man. That's well over. Man, I don't even want. I want to say that's I don't even want to guess. I'll probably be way off, but that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of money. 0007 to $1 that you believe so much into the company. And hey, we'll be here watching. We'll be here watching.
Hey man, if it hits to $1, man, just shake your head for me one time and take a shot from me.
Man, look, if it gets to $1, you better buy me a house, man. That's a 14,000% gain. So
hey,
we'll
look,
see.
You know what? Let me see how many people. 232 people watching. Look, I'll make a bet with you, man. On 420, if it hits $1, I'll send you a bottle, and I want you to open it on air.
All right, man. Appreciate it. We'll be watching USMJ $1 by 420. We'll see, man.
All right, my man. Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it so much, Ryan Gets It, man. Thank you for the call. Look, rare things have happened, man. You know, rare things have happened. I remember not too long ago we had a call from a guy who said RSII was going to get to 50 cents, and I laughed that off too. But sure enough, RSII ended up doing it. So I'm not saying never. But, he's taking a gamble. But then again, that's what investing is sometimes. So, is this Trading Jedi?
This is Trading Jedi, bro. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on with you, man? Give us some details on, how you set up your day and, I guess how you trade as well.
For sure. Before I get into the whole pre-market and what the factors I look at to trade stocks, first I want to say Plug is a pretty dope play. They're selling their batteries to Amazon for their forklifts and machinery. But the Amazon deal, it's not for sure going to pop because Amazon has an option to buy a large share of equity in a sizable share of equity in the company. But that option is like something like a 2 or 3 year expiry. So even if they did, it's that huge move I doubt is going to be coming anytime soon. That we're especially to be buying a liquid options. But still, if you guys like what you see, play it. I mean, I cashed out a 15-16% gainer on Plug today just because I saw it kind of hit a wall. So I'd rather just have my little gain and move on to something else.
Sure.
For sure, man. But about the pre-market, yeah, dude. Me, we trade similar in the sense that I like to get in and I like to get out of stocks. I like stocks that are moving. I like volume. Volume equals money, man. I've seen so many people call up with all these baggy bag holder plays tonight with zero volume, and it's like, dude, just put your money in something that's gonna make you money. Show me the money. Get paid, dude. Like, stop waiting and wishing. Get paid. Like. So the factors that I first look at when I wake up, first off, I also live on the West Coast. I'm in California, so I usually wake up about 5 when I'm gonna be like seriously day trading, and I grab my coffee. A big part of it, dude, is just being completely centered. I love the morning. It's so peaceful. No one else is up. It gives you a chance to center yourself and be with yourself, because that's who's gonna get you paid, yourself, man. So first thing I do is get ready. Get all freshened up, and then this is the only time ever when I will go on StockTwits and intentionally look at all the pumpers. Look at all the pumpers that pump the hardest, because in the morning, pre-market, those guys are going to give you the stocks. No other time of day, not at the close, especially not midday, but, the pumpers are kind of your friends in the morning. They'll half of their picks are bullcrap, but, I mean, you'll find a couple, go through those tickers, see the ones that have volume. We all know low float move stocks, but that's not all. Look at the market cap. Yeah. A little trick that I like to do is when I'm looking at the pre-market volume, which, you can do this through your broker, or I actually use the NASDAQ stock website, so just NASDAQ.com. You can look at the pre-market volume, look at the high, the low. That'll basically give you a sense of the range in the pre-market. And then what I also like to do is if I see one that has volume, I'll actually pull up, not the float, but I'll pull up the market cap. And what I'll do is I'll multiply the amount of shares traded by the median point of that spread between the high and the low, and that will give me a number. And what I do is I compare that number against the market cap. If you're trading like 10% or even 5% of your market cap in the morning, that's a huge indication that something's going to happen. That means you've already traded 10% of the value. So that's one thing that I do is, look at how much money is flowing through the stock, not just volume, not just shares, how much money is flowing through the stock. Because, the more money, the better. You can go in heavier in size. Another thing is once I found these little stocks that are getting pumped pre-market, you gotta chart out your support and resistance lines, because that will tell you straight up, am I going to buy into a wall or not? So many times people just buy the open or buy the first pump in the morning, not even looking at the chart, seeing that, oh, there's a huge fucking wall that's been there for like 3 years. Probably going to wait for a confirmation to jump into that one. Likewise, if it breaks, resistance, you're like, oh my gosh, we've cleanly broken this large resistance point, in pre-market trading. Maybe I should buy the dip because it will just use that point either as support, or I could get stopped out just below it.
Right.
Look at the chart itself, because when you pull up the chart, you'll be able to see all these things as well as moving averages. Don't buy into momentum in the morning on a moving average. Don't buy into resistance unless you're seeing a clean absolute surge in volume break. Another thing that I do pre-market is I also look at the short flow. How many people are shorting the stock? And also think if it's a high ratio of days to cover, how much of the gain pre-market? Think if a stock's up 100% pre-market and it's heavily shorted, then you're probably going to have a higher percentage of a short squeeze, because even if that stock comes back down, it's probably not going to give up all 100% of the gain. So shorts are going to have to cover and continue to capitulate that stock higher. Whereas if you have a stock that's up maybe 20%, 15%, and it's, got a heavy amount of shorters, the, 10 or 15, 20, 15%, that's enough for where the shorts can give themselves a little wiggle room before they're forced to cover. So those are the kinds of plays that might fade. Another thing is if it's not shorted at all, you might see a stock that's getting pumped really hard. And then in that case, you might be like, well, maybe shorts will hop on. Just all these little factors. Another thing is if you're trading a optionable stock, you can look with your scanners, pull up on your scanners the PC ratio or the put to call ratio, which will give you a guideline of how bullish or bearish market sentiment is. Because if people are buying more puts on it, if the put to call ratio is higher, that means that the market sentiment, people putting their money where their mouth is, not just talking crap, that's telling you how people are feeling about it. So obviously a higher PC ratio means that there are more people bearish on the stock and willing to take bearish bets. So you take all of this and you kind of put it together, you weigh the factors and against each other, and that's one way you kind of find which stock you want to momentum trade in the morning. And that's just entry. That's not even finding your entry. That's just finding which of the stocks that are getting pumped or do get volume in the morning, which ones have the best possibility. Because, I'm sure we've all seen great stocks that have so much volume, and you're seeing news coming out, and everyone on stock twits and iHub is like, oh, it's going to the moon, guys.
Yeah.
We got this. And then, boom, you fade. You get your whole move faded. You bought the dip in the morning.
It sounds like XGTI or something like that.
Yeah, man. So often that happens. And then on top of that, you probably bought the open, and you held all day until literally you went back to 0% of the gain. So
sounds just like XGTI.
You have to look at exactly, man. So look at all of these factors: the short flow, which will basically give you an inclination of how I like squeezes, man. Because if you can see continuous volume coming in something that's shorted heavily, that's when Stock God's RSI strategy will work, because there is something tangibly there to propel the stock higher with the RSI. RSI, the line on the chart isn't going to magically make you make money. There has to be buyers. There has to be demand for the stock. So just don't be bag holding crappy stocks and just, reading the same month-old shitty news, man. No one cares. So, get in, get out. Look at all the factors, dude. And I can't stress enough how much I look at the monthly, and I look at also the weekly and the daily before I get into these momentum plays in the morning. That's just because so often you'll find you go back far on the chart and you'll see a trend line that you're right at the tip at. This happens so often with these pre-market pumps, and that's why they dip so hard. And then either they fail there or they will get that late in the day surge of volume that then it will break the resistance because the volume's been so sure and steady. But, you know, a lot of it is just looking at every considerable factor, man. Like, that's all I can say. You know, and as for news, yeah, I honestly, when people say, "Oh, this news came out," when I'm looking for stocks in the morning, I don't even bother looking at the news, reading the news. I don't care what the news is. My focus is getting paid. My focus is making money. My focus is sniffing out the volume, getting in at a good entry based on the technicals on the chart, not buying into any levels that on the chart looks dangerous on any time frame, and then watching your volume, managing your risk, your downside, you know, and then cashing out and going, you know, getting paid, man. So just look at every imaginable factor, you know. And never treat one of these stocks that you buy in the morning, you know, just for a day trade, and then you're down like 5-10%, and you're like, oh, well, you know, this day trade went against me. Now it's going to be a swing trade. Now I'm an investor, you know. Oh, now you're a bag holder. So, you know, I just want to see you guys make money so badly. I want to see everyone in the room get paid, dude. Like, I want to see everyone get paid hard. I want to get shut down. I want to get paid that hard, man.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, let's trade well and make some money. I mean, let's put, you know, I know a lot of guys like to camp, but maybe try putting, you know, half of your money into some momentum plays. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of great stocks that really will pay off long term, man, even if they seem like long shots. But, you know, have some active money where you're actively getting in and out of trades on the regular, you know, because if you're doing that and cutting your losses and you look for the volume, you will make money if you manage your downside.
Yeah.
But yeah, team, let's trade well, make some money, look for the volume, look who's shorting it, look who's in it, look at all the factors, man. All right.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Trading Jedi, for the call. And look, I mean, he didn't say anything that wasn't true. I mean, he really, you know, yeah, I think I left. I should have hung up earlier, but but he's right, man. he's right, man. He wants everybody to get paid and you know, trade more active issues. You know, if you want to get real technical with it. And that's what I was talking about earlier, man. I want Stock God to retire me. And that's why I've been, you know, I'm such a big believer in this strategy because, one, when I see bad scientists, you know, a man who's a trained scientist, you know, 12 years of education, looking at a strategy and saying, you know what, I really like this. I really like this. I'm all over it. I'm all over it. And then when I actually start testing it, and then I'm seeing it work, I'm back testing it, and I'm seeing it work, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. And it's a damn shame that we've now been talking, 3 episodes about this? And I'm going to this you know, this brother's YouTube page, and he's only got 400 people. He's only got 400 people. He should have way more people than that. Way more people than that. But hey, if they don't want the secret to actually making some money on the market, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm glad that you watching this, you have it. I have it. So let's put it, you know, let's put each other out of business. 919, you're on the air. Is this Bad Scientist?
Yes. How's it going, Sal?
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate your call. Nice timing.
Oh, cool. So you made a good trade today, I see.
Yes. NADL. I sent you that the trade on Twitter, man. And as I said, your 8 exponential moving average along with the VWAP definitely makes it look really good.
Oh, nice. So remind me again, when did you get it and at what time did you get it?
All right, so I got it marked here on my let me see here, because I'm doing exactly what he's doing. I'm literally watching everything he's doing on his YouTube, and I'm doing it, you know, when it comes to drawing the setups and whatnot on the actual chart. I'm not sure if he does that live or if he does it afterwards, but I've been doing it live because it enables me to see the setup. But the entry is exactly at 10:07. That's well, actually the entry is let me see, hold on, actually no, the line starts at 10:07, but the entry where I placed the X, which was at 10:47, excuse me, 1047 is the entry. And then the exit is at my second X, which is at 1108.
Okay, 1108. Okay, yeah, that was good because I was looking at that right now, and according to my 5-minute chart, I would have probably gone in at about 10:45. That's when, because initially you had like a bull trap where NADL opened at the top and then it trickled down. Once again, it hit the 8 exponential, just skated on that 8 exponential. It dipped under the 8 exponential at about 10:30, and then it comes back round through and closes above the 8 exponential at about 10:45. So you could have ridden this. So if you put VWAP and 8 and the 8 exponential, you'll see you could get in at about 10:45, ride this thing all the way up. Notice that then at about 11:35 does an 8, what I like to call a bullish 8 EMA VWAP crossover. So the 8 crosses bullishly over the VWAP. By the way, that's also a very good signal to trade on, because then that same bullish crossover happens at about later on in the day at about 3 o'clock. The same bullish crossover.
That 8 exponential moving average back on there so we can see that clearly. Let's see here. But yeah, man, I'm a big believer in your 8 exponential moving average along with VWAP, because it enables you also having that VWAP on the screen. And also, if you can really, I don't want to take an hour to do it, but can you explain what VWAP is for people who don't know? What do we mean by VWAP, and what's the goal of VWAP?
Okay, so VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. And basically, this is a technical that a lot of the big investment funds, mutual funds, use to gauge whether it's the right time to get into a price. Unlike normally, as an inexperienced trader, you'll probably get into a stock when it's up there thinking that it will get further. For instance, like today, if you'd made the mistake, and I even tweeted it, and I said, do not chase NADL, because you don't want to be caught holding the bag. So it was up, I think, 230% pre-market. Had you decided to go in at the market open, you would have gotten in at about $2.47, $2.50-ish. This thing from that price went all the way down. So essentially what VWAP does, if you put VWAP in there, you'll notice where it opened up. It's actually, there's a small kink. If you gave this thing 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you'll notice immediately it went under VWAP, which is good, but then it continued to go all the way down.
Yeah, all the way down.
So what VWAP, all the way down until it touched the 8 exponential moving average. Now, yes, you could argue and say, well, after about 10, 15 minutes, you were under VWAP, but the trend, if you look once again with StockGod's option trading strategy, you'll notice that there's a volume spike, and even Tim Sykes' one of Tim Sykes' students mentioned this, where the second 5-minute candlestick is a huge red candlestick, meaning that this trend is going down, and you actually see the volume tracing down as the stock goes down. So what it does is it went all the way down to the 8 exponential moving average. And essentially, what VWAP does is you never want to get into something, especially in the early part of the day, where the stock is above VWAP. So it weights volume to the price, so that if the volume is high and the trades are high at that volume, Trading Jedi was talking about, it's important not only looking at volume, and in another session we'll talk about how I pick OTC stocks, because today I spoke to Erin and her mom who are interested in trading, and it's very important that you're able to look at the dollar amount in terms of trades and the volume being traded, and not just look at the percent gain and say, let me jump in. Anyway, I digress.
No, absolutely.
So
You're absolutely true on that. Well, real quick, Bad Scientist, though, because when I look at the 5-minute chart, which is what you suggest investors trade on, I noticed that on the 5-minute chart, the 8 exponential moving average never gets crossed by the stock. So you would have never gotten an entry on this if you look at the 5-minute.
Exactly, and that's why you use VWAP together with the 8. Good point, because I was talking initially about VWAP, but you're using these in combination. So yes, because it's well above the 8, you would have waited for this thing to get to the 8 and close below the 8, correct? So that's why it's so important to use these in combination. And then at about what did we decide, like 10:45, 10:40, 10:37, whenever that time was, where the stock crosses, the price crosses above the 8 exponential, you then follow it up. Once again, it tracks the 8 all the way to the top. Then you have the bullish crossover where the 8 exponential crosses above the VWAP. That's another entry point, by the way, where you could have gotten into for a buy signal.
And we're still using this on the 5-minute chart?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You'll see the crossover happened at about 11:35.
11:35. So yes, right here.
The 8 crossed over the VWAP. So that's another buy signal. Yeah, so like Stock God said on Friday, there's so many exits and entries that you can get into and get out of with this. But you are right. In the beginning, the 8 exponential is a lot higher. The price is a lot higher than the 8 exponential. So you wouldn't be in this stock, and then you just watch it come all the way down till it starts curling back up until that price is above the 8. And then, like I said, when we talked yesterday and you said at the end of the day you typically don't like getting into a stock, well, with VWAP there you can definitely do it, because as you can see towards the end of the day at around 3 o'clock, there's a second bullish crossover where the 8 crosses over the VWAP. And you notice how volume starts going up. Notice around 3 o'clock, volume starts going up, RSI goes up.
It goes insane.
It goes insane. So you could have gone in there as well, and that's basically the strategy. Just use VWAP in combination with the 8, and where you see the second candle go under the VWAP, that was a great shorting opportunity where you could have shorted it all the way back down to the 8 exponential moving average.
Okay.
So there's so many of these little trinkets of treasure where you can short it, where you can go long, and that's what I've perfected. And now I call it the V8 day trading strategy, because it involves VWAP and the 8 exponential. I do use the RSI as well as a like a third indicator to confirm things, and together, man, this thing is really good.
Okay.
So without going any further, let me quickly tell you about URRE. Remember yesterday I said I held it. I was up 8%, and I was right. Today it went up further. I was able to sell out 2 cents below the high, because I think it went to 218. I was able to sell it at 216 after getting in at $1.90, and was able to make a cool 14% on that. Sorry, that's my little one.
Oh yeah, it's okay, dude. Hey, I appreciate you still wanting to spend some time, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. And then, so I made 14%, which is above my 10%, and so I was very pleased with that. Was able to get out. Yeah, and then, that's cool. That was a swing trade. And then last point is I have a few tickers that I'd like to recommend.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
OTC tickers, and Erin actually found this one. She got into it, Erin Brown. who loves your show and occasionally we'll talk about stocks and stuff. So EAPH, I don't know if that's been brought up, but this is an
so funny
early
because
move.
this was an early move. This was on my list too that I put out. Eastern Pharmaceuticals. This is a really interesting play because it's actually also a legit OTC company that's actually doing some things.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, so that one is an early move. I'm sure this one you've spoken about. What's it called? Just a second. I think it's DW something or other. Where is this thing?
DW.
I have it here. I wish I had it. DRWN, sorry.
DRWN. Okay, yeah, a clean state. I remember hearing something about this. Yeah, this one, really interesting. I thought this was going to be like a one-day pump with a one-time. We had somebody bringing up back on the 5th, and after we watched it go down, I figured that it was a wrap for this particular stock. What puts it back on your radar? Obviously, 125% gain in one day, but what brings this back on the table for you?
I mean, for me, it's simply, sorry, I have it on the 5 minute. Let me put it. So this is for day trade. So as you noticed, like a few days back, which was the 5th of April, it had a very big day.
Yeah.
Then it had 3 very, very bad days, almost like panic selling to me because these were, and Tim Sykes and his students talk about panic selling and waiting for the right moment, either to short it as people are panic selling or to wait for the bounce. And so today it put in a very solid volume, almost like a complete reversal. I mean, that's, that's what would you call this? This is almost a bullish engulfing signal, but the volume was strong. It shoots past, it put in 125%, shoots past the 8 exponential, which I'm using on here as well. And on the upside, you still have it, it's a 0009. This thing could go back up to 0018. So 100% would put it back where it was 4 days ago.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just looking at the technical and saying that the bounce back was so strong today. And in fact, the opening was strong because there's no wick even at the bottom of that candle. Notice as well, 4 days ago, the opening was strong. So this, I don't know if this is a pattern for this stock, but it always opens strong. So the sellers certainly don't push it when it opens up because there's no bottom wick. Similarly, if you look at yesterday, when it came down, it had no upper or lower wick. So it's almost like an all or nothing with this stock if you're looking at it. And so today's powerful day makes me think we need to, look at this tomorrow. The last OTC I have is OTTV.
Okay. And this used to be OTTV, Viva Entertainment Group. Tell us about this one.
So this one, once again, it's an early move. It just broke the 8 EMA. Volume is very, very good. 75 million in volume just for today, which is way above what it's done in the past. So, just a very solid day coming out of a relatively low RSI of about 44. It's now at about 57, and it looks good. Like I said, I like lower RSI moves, trying to catch the first or second day. So I think this one's going to be good. Then on the NASDAQ type plays, I've got GBR. And once again, this one is almost like the bull pennants or breakouts that Stock God plays on the 1 minute. But this one actually goes from the 24th of March until yesterday, which was the 10th of March.
Yeah, and this
if you look at that pattern...
And also, not to cut you off, Bats, but this one's got the EMA just looking crazy on this one.
Yes, absolutely. So those 2 days back in March 24th and March 27th, those were huge days where the stock went from $1, went as high as $3.81. Then it had some funny pattern where it trickled down, forming almost like a bull flag. It gaps up and then trickles down again. So two kind of, I want to say, where it squeezes and where the RSI comes down and it squeezes and comes back down to the 8 EMA, and then gaps up, comes back down to the 8 EMA, and now it's broken out of the 8 EMA with a pretty strong candle.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this one is going to go. It closed at 206. And if you look at the 27th of March, it went as high as 270. But then again, the upper wick suggests it could go to 374.
Yeah.
So this one is definitely one to look out, just because of the bullishness of it coming out of that bull pennant. The very, very, multiple day bull pennant.
Yeah, this one looks like it's a pure monster that you gotta have to catch it really, really good here. We'll definitely be watching that.
And that's why I like it, because today was the first significant breakout and very, very strong, green candle with that. Then I've got INVT. Now this one was beat down. I'm actually in this one, and I'm really hoping to look for something. It just managed to cross the 8 EMA, so it's literally just above the 8 EMA today with high volume.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
And
then finally,
and still relatively low on the RSI as well.
Yes, RSI. It came from an RSI of about 23, and now it's RSI about 36, 37.
Yeah.
So it's still got, lots more we've got lots more to see from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, which was a former runner, is MYOS.
Oh, this used to be a beast back in the day. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this was a monster back in January. I say back in the day, but as a trader, it feels like forever ago. But yeah, I mean, MYOS was a monster. I see it now as I zoom in on today's action. We're back above the 8 exponential moving average.
Yes, in fact, it closed right on it at 260. So tomorrow, all we're looking for is a break above that, get in the trade, and then as long as it's above the 8, maybe you can, put a mental or physical stop below the 260, maybe on yesterday's opening candle, maybe at about, 248. If you can risk more, you can put the stop a bit lower. But really, we want to see this one open definitively above that 8 exponential to get in. And that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate everything.
Thank you so much, Bats. We appreciate you and your contribution, man. Thank you so much.
Take care, Sal. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. You as well. Thank you as well. So shout out to Bad Scientist calling up the show, man, giving some really great tickers that are showing continuation patterns, man, that are showing some really good continuation patterns. And using that 8 exponential moving average, he explained his strategy to you, as well as using VWAP. But those are some great tickers, man. Those are some great looking tickers that are got some really good setups to them. Yeah, I had this kid and everything. And again, thank you so much, because, a lot of parents, their kid makes a little bit of noise. Hey, I'll call you back. They run off the phone. So thank you to Bad Scientist for working out through that and, giving us that real good game, man. All right. Hey, I see Africa Emporium in the room. Hey, man, you've been doing real good. Do you want to talk about, how you're going about it? I know you're busy running your business and whatnot, so if you can, I understand. But Africa Emporium, I see you're in the room. If you got a minute, man, and you want to give people some game, 854, you're on the air. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Sal? It's Prolix.
Hey, what's going on, Prolix?
Not much. I'm getting ready to go on vacation in the next couple days here, but I wanted you to pull up NAK again.
Okay. Yeah, NAK.
So,
if I remember, NAK was your play, man. So I'm curious as to how you feel about it these days.
Well, they just got approved by Alaska at 6:14 tonight to do the Pebble Project land use permit. So, and it's up 19% in after hours.
Oh shit! Are you telling me that this approval that we've been waiting for, or you've been waiting for rather, has gone through and they've gotten it?
It's 50% of the way there. All we're waiting is May 8th for that veto to pass, and it'll be going through.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Literally, as of 6:14 p.m., it says there was a press release at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as of today that the state of Alaska, announces that it's 100% owned U.S. if I could say that word, subsidiary Pebble Limited Partnership. The Pebble Partnership has received notice of approval of a miscellaneous land use permit from the Alaska Department of Natural Resources. So NAK is already up in after hours about 18%. The bid on it right now is $1.80. So tomorrow it's probably, I'm going to say it probably breaks $2 tomorrow. Potentially. I don't know. Kerrisdale has been up their ass lately. So,
damn, man.
But it was. I'm not gonna lie. I got caught bag holding on it. For
I mean, the stock is up now. I'm looking at 20% now after hours, based on this news here. I'm looking at it on Equity Feed now. We're at 20.14% at 167 on NAK. Wow. This is really, really good news, man. I mean, I definitely can see some money coming back into NAK now, making this go a lot higher.
Well, I was going to say, what is it? I'm not going to lie, I got into it, and then I got out of it because I found another investment that I really liked. So I took the money from NAK, and I put it in another stock, which I day traded NAKD, made about, my first day trade ever, I made like $289.
Oh, congrats.
But it was down today. But they're saying, like, come May 26th, we'll know what the deal is with NAKD. But I was saying, as far as NAK goes, I was going to say I was just looking at it because I still have it on my watch list. Like, I was like, even though I don't own it, like, I keep it there because I know, like, I was waiting for this. And sure enough, I was like, I looked at it, and somebody else in the chat mentioned it. I forgot who. And I was like, it's up 19% after hours. And then I looked at the news, I think it was Joe, who said something about they got the approval, and then I was like, no way. So I looked at it, and sure enough, they did. So by May 8th, we will know. That's when vetoes come out. Actually, on May 8th, Ford might be a decent option play also.
Okay.
Because Ford submitted to get their emissions ban removed. Okay. So that could be potentially another one.
That's, I mean, do you want to make money on that move, though? That seems so anti,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ford I was looking at, I never pulled the trigger on it, though, but I know that once Trump was elected, they put through the emissions thing. I don't know how great it's going to affect it. I just know it's a possibility, but I was going to say I don't know. Ford I haven't been following enough of for me to really care much about it. But I just know that that's something that will be coming out May 8th also, from what I understand.
Okay.
But one stock that I haven't mentioned that I actually had a question about was, I believe the ticker is ACBFF.
Yeah, okay. So this is the Canadian, Aurora, the Canadian marijuana play. I don't know if Jay Bino's watching, but I know he's all over these Canadian marijuana plays. What do you like about this one, man?
Well, I've been hearing people say that I'm part of a group on Facebook where a lot of people who, I've been talking to, at least with stocks that are popular for day trading and stuff, and a lot of people think it's going to be a household name in the next 3 to 5 years with this Aurora Sky coming out that they're developing. So it's, I guess they're going to have, one of, if not the biggest marijuana farm, one of the biggest ones.
Okay.
I haven't done a lot of due diligence on it, but I know a lot of people are talking about it.
Now,
So I know.
Now, Prolix, are you aware? Is marijuana is it legal in Canada yet, or no? They're still fighting that battle.
I have no idea. I
Okay.
know. I live in New York, so
Okay.
I know in New York it's not yet.
Yes.
But I think with I think the way I see these marijuana plays is at some point in time it's going to get approved. At some point,
Yeah.
you know, states are slowly approving it. So, you know, as approval steadily goes, eventually these things they're gonna be worth what you're putting into them at some point or another. Because the more states that legalize marijuana, the more these companies are going to sell. So, I was gonna say at least on that I liked. Also NAKD I like, but that's further down the road.
Right.
Because they extended their merger today. They're part of a public offering, but that grossed them $5.5 million. But I'm waiting for May 26th to see what the final word is on that before I go making any serious thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But I day traded it, and for my first day trade, I did pretty well. But also AMD, unfortunately, I had to get out. You know, I had to get out of that for personal reasons. But other than that, those are the only ones I have for tonight. But I figured I'd call, let you know about NAK, because NAK is I finally found, you know, what I was looking for in NAK.
Right.
So.
Okay. We'll definitely be seeing it because it looks like we're going to have that gap up opening tomorrow. So we'll see if this becomes that runner we thought it would be, you know, or it used to be. And NAK continue to put on some, you know, multiple day gains, because if you remember, NAK had an amazing November, December. Looking back at this chart on the daily, I mean, it was an incredible run for the stock from what was that, like 44 cents. So we'll see if you know, NAK can get back to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I noticed it was trending around 116, 120, and then I was like I got out of it because I was like, well, I'm like in this time I could be putting my money into something else. But other than that, I was just like, I kept watching it, and then sure enough, today they got the approval from Alaska, and the approval from Alaska was what a lot of people were worried about. So the idea that Alaska approved it means that being the idea that the company has been kind of manipulated, and the idea that the Trump administration, now with this whole thing with Syria going on, that gold is going up, I like their chances of getting the approval. So Alaska was 50% of the battle. Now we just got to wait till May 8th.
There it is, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, Sal. I'll be seeing you.
Appreciate it. So enjoy that vacation, by the way, Prolix. Enjoy the vacation. And thank you to Prolix bringing up his tickers on the show, man, and letting you guys know what it is. And, again, calling him back and letting us know. NAK up 20% right now after hours. We'll see if that can hold up. Got several hours until the next trading day. You guys know if it was up to me, we'd be able to trade 24/7. But I guess if that was the case, then you'd barely have any time for anything else. Lord knows most of us in here wouldn't be doing anything else besides sitting in front of our computers or in front of our phones trading. So 251, you're on the air. What's up?
What's up, sir? This is Anthony, man.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Hey, Prolix, hey, he's saving the day for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, that's my long-term play. I've been kind of heavy on it.
Okay, so, yeah. I mean, NAK doing real well. So, I mean, that's the news you wanted to hear. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we waiting because I'm telling you, when it go back to his highs, which is what, $3 or something.
Yeah,
we back in there. I'll be sitting pretty then.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% from where you are now. So, NAK, we'll see again what this news can do, man. I guess as I said, up 20% after hours. You know, you're down almost 50% from middle of February. So, we'll see what can happen.
Oh yeah, and shout
100%,
out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat room too, Sal.
Yeah. Because
they teaching folks, man.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get more people involved on my end where I live at. Into penny stocks and stuff, man. I'm telling you, I like it. I'm excited about it like everybody else, man.
Mm.
And if I wasn't working, I would do it full time.
Yes, indeed.
But keep it up, Sam, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anthony. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I mean, look, I guess, we had Trading Jedi call up and kind of shit on people who call up on those with those tickers. Now nobody wants to mention those tickers anymore. So, but hey, look, don't let anybody else, deter you from what you trade. Okay, everybody's gonna have a different way of looking at things. Those OTCs, lottery tickets that you love and enjoy, maybe somebody else is gonna not like them. That doesn't mean, not to trade them or discount them in any way. All right. We had somebody said we had a troll in the chat room. That's why some of you guys are moderators, man. Get those people out of here. And because they try to come in here and change the subject matter and get us all confused and not talking about money and how to make it. Okay. GIGL. We talked about GIGL yesterday. Remember, if we mentioned how important GIGL was, for them to kind of get back to winning again. So they need it today. This stock needed a green day, even though it's a pathetic one. They needed that. It needed that. It really needed that. As you can see here, it's kind of fell. It's trending below its 8-day moving average. Exponential moving average, but it's holding. It's holding, and it needed that today. Now giggles and hugs at 17.50. Okay, or 17 cents, 0.1750. Let's not get anybody confused. SDRL. I see this was one of Africa Emporium's play, and I don't think Africa Emporium's in the chat room. I wanted him to call up and let us know, how's he, been killing it like he's been doing in the Discord room during the day. I know some of you guys have been seeing what Africa Emporium has been putting up and been wondering, hey, man, how are you doing it? Can you let us in on the information? And I don't think he's in the chat room right now, but SDRL, I guess, is one of his tickers. Do you use an older version of Equity Feed? No, I think this is the newest one. I mean, I go to the website and whatever it loads up, I figure it is the new version of Equity Feed. I doubt they would give me the old one. All right, as I am sponsored by Equity Feed, so I better be using the new one. All right, HEB biotech play. All right, this is not really a day trade stock. This is more or less a swing. This is more or less a swing kind of trade. HEB. It looks like it hasn't really been doing much over the last month and a half. You're up only 3 cents over the course of 2 months. So you let me know what you're seeing in this stock, man, because I'm not seeing it. 772, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, real quick, I don't want to make this too long, but since we got mad scientists in the house, what's his opinion on NADL? Is it possible it's going to run 2 days of running tomorrow? I got locked in at 240. You probably $2 or dollar some. Just wonder, because it could probably do three things: blow new highs, or open up higher, or be in a red. I just want to know his opinion. Is it going to run tomorrow? With all these fancy indicators and all that stuff. All
right, appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you listen to this, hit us back. Let us know what's up, because I might want to put in more. Other people might want to jump in.
Yes, indeed. So, Bats, I don't know if you're still watching, Bats, but hey, man, he's wondering, will NADL run tomorrow? I know some of you guys who are in the Discord room, you played NADL today. Some of you, do you think it'll continue tomorrow? Obviously, all we can do is guess, and tomorrow's opening will determine all of that. And using stock God's strategy, thankfully we don't get caught in any kind of morning foolishness, and we're always looking for the stock to kind of set up and allow us to find that little hidden path for us to be able to jump on if there are any gains incoming for this stock. All right. Travis saying nope. Travis saying it's done. All right. It kind of reminds me of CLNT. If you guys remember, CLNT had ran. It had like a great half a day, and then the next day it ran for all full day, but then the next day after that it just collapsed. If you guys remember CLNT, if I can bring that up, CLNT. There it is right here. You had that crazy late day on the 6th. Then the next day it ran, but it had a crazy ass range, but didn't really do anything. And then, since then, CLNT has been an amazing short, and it's coming all the way back down. CLNT. That stock is probably coming all the way back down to 280. 208, call me back. Call me back, 208. I thought I caught you there, but it hung up. You said you need giggles and hugs to hit 10 cents. Luther, why you wanted to come crashing down? All right. I don't know why you guys wanted to come crashing down. Go ahead and press like on this video if you haven't already. Press like on this video right now. Damn, 2 hours went by already? Shit. It's been 2 hours? I swear, I feel like I just started talking. Shit. 706, you on the air. What's up?
What's going on? Sorry, JBino 85.
Hey, what's up, JBino?
Hey, so I was calling about that ACBFF, that Aurora Cannabis.
Let me see. ACS, yes. What do you think about it, man?
So what caught my attention was yesterday or before you were saying how you don't like most of them Canadian stocks because they usually get halted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so ACBFS and a couple other marijuana stocks that got halted today are right at the beginning of the day. I think that's why a lot of them were in the red and went down.
Yeah, man. I used to play these real big time, these Canadian stocks, man, and I don't know if it's it's just something about Canada, man. They just call the SEC and just shut that shit down or just halt them. I don't know what it is. And when you're in a situation where you got money in a stock and it's halted, man, it's the worst feeling in the world because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how long the halt is for. Thankfully, these were just how long? Maybe an hour or probably less.
I'm not sure because I wasn't in them or anything. I just saw the news. I kind of check them out periodically throughout the day, but I saw that they got halted at around 9:30 in the morning, and a lot of the stocks had shot up, but then right after that halt, they all kind of went down, and they were all in the red today. It was actually all pretty rare for the marijuana stocks today.
Yeah.
Probably only a good 30 or 40 of them that actually were in the green.
Yeah.
But that kind of caught my attention. I was like, Sal was just talking about how these stocks always get halted. It said that it got halted so everybody can have a fair trade or something like that.
Yeah.
So will that prevent it from doing the outrageous run like most of these other OTC stocks do? You know how they get that crazy run?
Not really. I mean, people are going to play them just because right now that's the play right now is when you're talking about OTC marijuana plays. I mean, they're running more than the U.S. side of them. So it is what it is. It is what it is, and
okay.
But I think if anything now. Where you at 225? I see. Wait and see what happens tomorrow on it. And if money starts coming in, then I think I would jump on it as well. But those are the ones that are running. If you want to play marijuana, you got to play the Canadian side of the border because right now nobody knows what the policy is on the U.S. side of the border, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Aurora Cannabis, they bought an airport and they turned the whole airport into a growth facility. So they're going to be the largest one in the world when they're done with it, that Aurora Sky. So
wow.
Yeah, they bought a whole airport field, and they're turning the whole airport field into a grow house, basically.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, that's why I believe that's why that was one of my favorites because with something like that, they're gonna. And I actually saw a couple of videos on their delivery and their packages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the packaging is even nice on their products and stuff like that. It's a pretty decent company. So I said that's probably one of my favorite long terms on the marijuana, right along with the Canopy Growth. But I believe the Canopy Growth just got credibility because it got Snoop Dogg behind it.
Okay.
But as far as the grow, I think Aurora Cannabis is, like I said, right behind them.
All right, we'll definitely be watching, man.
All right, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much to Jay Bino. Yeah, man, because I've been in a stock that's been halted before, and it's the worst feeling you can ever have, man. It's the worst feeling you can ever have. Someone was saying, yeah, about Tim Sykes calling me out on Twitter for CLNT. Yeah, because I noticed that, you know, when that CLNT moved, if you do a you know, at that time, now there's too many people talking about it, but if you did a search on what people were saying on CLNT when it first moved, there were two real suspicious looking Twitter accounts from like 2016. Like they only had like 2 tweets, and both of those accounts had said Tim Sykes CLNT or something, like some real shady looking like that. So I made the you know, observation, and I called it out, and you know, he basically tried to come after me about it or whatever, and you know, I didn't really take any offense to it because I basically made an observation, and that was it. So yeah, well, because he gets accused that a lot of pumping stocks, but you know, I don't know, how did it run? That's what I'm saying. How did it run? Tops. Let me see here. Tops. I don't know what's going on with Tops now, man. I mean, Tops, you know, we had a guy call up the other day, try to get me to suggest that I want people to stay in the Tops and everything like that. I always said that Tops is a situation where, you know, it's going down, down, down. But when it pops, it's going to go insane. If it does pop. 202, you're on the air. What's up?
What's going on, Brother Sal? This is Brother African Emporium.
Thank you so much, brother, for calling Africa Emporium. Man, look, you have been killing it. You have been killing it, and you got to tell us how you are going about doing this.
Very basic, Sal. Obviously, I'm a newbie. In the grand scheme of things, in terms of what I've been learning from you guys, I'm always giving you guys credit and kudos for that. One thing I've been very, very fortunate to, and once again, shout out to everybody in the chat room. I learn from all you guys. Let's not get it twisted. I learn from all you guys every day. I found a way to kind of dumb it down. Does not make me 100% right, but it just says that, you know, the goal is to make people that come into the market or newbies that come into the game of trading stocks understand it in a way where they can get it and not feel overly kind of compromising or making it overly complicated. So a lot of it has to do with, once again, some due diligence, definitely, but also kind of, you know, following the things that are kind of actively, you know, trending in a sense, be it news, you know, basic catalysts, and then using that very, very old school strategy. Wait for that 9:50, 10 o'clock pullback between that and 10 and 10:20. And if the stock is going to do anything outside of that, if it has a decent catalyst, then 9 out of 10, you should have some value upside. I don't care if it goes up 5 or 6 cents. That's still profit in the value of you being in an opportunity where you're seeing some action and you're not coming in too high and getting caught at the top. So, you know, I just want to put that out there first. So, but, okay, we go into today, NADL, right? NADL, right? Obviously, every morning, you guys see what I'm doing. I'm posting my stock in the chat room. I'm alerting everybody before the market starts. You know, I'm checking, I'm scanning. If I see one that sets up good, I instantly alert that particular stock. Whether you get it or you don't, that's on you. But
now, Africa Emporium, are you using 1 minute charts? Like, how are you trading intraday? Are you using 1 minute, 5 minute? How are you going about trading intraday?
Okay, I'm on Robinhood, and I'm also on the 133rd tick. I use the 133rd tick mark, tick chart to really gain a better opportunity to kind of get in and out of stocks.
Okay.
So with that, you know, me and Bat Science went over this on the HTGM. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but I alerted the chat room about HTGM when it went stupid parabolic, you know, literally like 3 days almost. And that entry point, you know, it's everything. Like, 'cause I always keep saying entry is everything. Obviously, you stress it a million times, Sal. Everybody else that calls in understands it. But a lot of people that just starting out in terms of trading don't really get it yet, right? Because, you know, being a little too impatient, being too emotional, you know, the stock running, you want to be a part of it, you jump in too high, whatever. But if you just if nothing else, if you could download, let's say TOS or whatever you use, 1 minute hard to find, but I just use the 133rd tick and sometimes the 5 minute.
Okay.
It just gives me a better, understanding, where's the buyer sentiment for that regard. But that's just me, once again.
Okay. And African Emporium, you're not really even using any indicators, am I right?
Not overly to the point where, it's, taking away me from using my natural observation in terms of a stock. Simple moving averages, obviously. Moving averages are their prerequisite. I think you cannot make a successful trade without having a moving average at least. And that's just where I look at it. RSI, momentum bands, the stochastic, momentum bands, stuff like that, whatever is good too. But I just go out and search for those quality stocks that are going to do, give us some value upside potential, and then set up a position in there, buy the dip and see where it goes from there. So it's all about finding, once again, the right setup in some cases. And then, again, being patient enough to wait for the dip to happen. I mean, that's literally it. I try to dumb it down to the point, because when I post, let's say, a dip buy picture in the chat room, if you literally are paying attention at that moment, and you take that position, whether you do or you don't, we're there. We're there at that point where it's at the bottom. Here's the opportunity to get in and, ride it up and see what it's going to do.
Right.
NADL did that. It had about 3 different entries today. I know you guys spoke and saying they only had 2, but I saw 3 different entries in NADL today. And I'm mad I couldn't do all 3 of them like I did ACGM, because I was under the PDT today.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I only had 1 quality stock that I had to kind of play today to use my burn my PDT for today, my 1. So that's why I held on to it long, to make sure I captured that $2.50 price point. And like clockwork, I got my $2.50. People like, no, they going. I said, be patient, guys. This is a stock that has awesome catalysts, it's low float. It hit a high of 284. It's going to go back up there. It's going to go above 250, nothing else. And I got my 250. And who knows? The stock ended up going to $3.27 after hours. $3.15.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, all said and done.
It's going crazy right now. In fact, let me see where it's at now. Let me see here. Where are we at right now in NADL? Again, this is a New York Stock Exchange company. Yeah, we're at $3 right now after hours on NADL.
Perfect. And it closed at what? I think it closed at $3, and it went up. I think $3.15 somewhere around there. Who knows? But great play. I know Travis, he held on to it. I know Q-Tech, she got in on it. And a lot of the guys in the chat room ended up taking that opportunity to get in on that stock and got them some gains today. And that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited. We just average Joes trying to become, famous pros at this. And, it requires us using this collective think tank that you always provide for us, Sal, and we appreciate that, to kind of come together, remove all these biases, remove all this kind of, on one side, on the other. No, we're here for one purpose and one purpose only. Find the best quality setup, get in it, use everybody's, eyes, ears, think tank value, and find us some stocks so we can make some money. And that's how we should be going in the market.
There it is, man. Appreciate it so much. And also, African Emporium, you don't, you don't even really swing trade or have a stock that you put in money over a course. You're just basically playing, when you have obviously some, round trips to use, you're basically just trading what's hot for that day, right? And that's basically it. You don't have any setups for over a period of days or anything like that.
Some of them I do. If you kind of go in the chat, like if I post my watch list in the morning, these are the type of stocks that I've done I check my scanners, check the screeners, which ones is gapped up, which one has the volume. I'm checking the flow, the basic technicals and nothing else. And then, from there, I'm checking buyer sentiment. Obviously, you're being in marketing for over 14 plus years. One thing I do know is people, and then the sentiment of how people shop. And the market is set up and it runs just like a department store or a business, right? Particular hours on the day, people are, buying, selling, or they're buying, right? Or they're taking breaks. 10 o'clock, it happens like clockwork every time. Between 9:50 and 10:20, it happens every time. Pre-market people that bought in from the pre-market or the day before, they sell off. And if the stock comes down to the point and it hits the bottom, let's say the bottom of the RSI or whatever, and, it stalls out and the volume kind of stays natural, you buy in. the worst thing can happen is it goes up 5 cents, as opposed to the 50, 60 that it ran, or $1 it was up earlier. So you're not losing, So you just have to be patient enough to find that one, that 1 or 2, whatever you're using for that day, to your benefit. Seed drills another one. I posted at the end of the day. I sold my NADL. I bought back in after, to kind of swing the trade for tomorrow. Seed drills another one. It opened up at 93 cents. It went down to 81 cents. Right? Perfect dip buy. That company is the same company that owns North Atlantic Mining Group, or whatever it's called. So, here's the opportunity where you can capitalize, hit 2 birds with 1 stone. So these are things I'm looking for, basically, out there. And I'm just looking for really good catalysts. Buyer sentiment. I'm checking people's chat, mindset behind it. How they feel about it, because you know how it is. It's a trend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
One person finds a stock and people get behind it, then that's all you need to kind of get, open the floodgate. And if you want to make money and you want to be successful and increase your gain percentage value as opposed to your loss percentage value, then you want to be in the fold when the information goes out. And obviously you do a good job of that everyday style. So, but that's just my simple strategy, guys. Nothing overcomplicated. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm learning every day. Once again, just actively trading for just past 3 months, right? And so I'm enjoying the ride. So I appreciate it.
Definitely. And last question, African Emporium. Again, appreciate your contribution here, man. When it comes to position sizing, Stock God, he was mentioning, hey, he puts about 99% of his account on the line. Obviously, for all of us who are under the PDT rule, we're trying to build our accounts to really make some substantial money. What would you suggest, or what do you do in terms of position sizing? What is it that, like how big do you go in on your trades right now?
Well, I do believe in the risk-reward reality, because it's the only way you're really going to learn how to really gauge and value your money and your interest. Because when you have extra money, the one thing we do more than anything from an impulse type buyer, from one thing being in marketing, is that you will 9 times out of 10, when you have it, you'll blow it and don't forget about it, right? Or you'll put a big chunk of money down in environments where typically you wouldn't do it if you was counting pennies. So if you look at your money, or your investment in the same lightness, in a sense, then you'll want to try to capture the moments where you're not necessarily coming in overly heavy. That's just me, once again. I try to keep my risk reward, between 3 to 1, 4 to 1 sometimes. But if you looking at some of the pictures that I post in the chat room of my profit value, and you're seeing, if I'm up $400, $300, and then you see that my total at the end of the day when I sell it is at $700, $800, if I spend $1,000 to capture 500, that's a good risk reward ratio. That means that's a good quality stock that did what it needs to do to get me what I need out of it without me having to kind of go overly all in, right? Once again, but it works for some people. If you're trying to do it, let's say like the Ross Cameron style, which is, he always comes in 5,000 shares or bigger, right? Because he has that kind of buying power. So you in the market for, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and you capture and you get out. Well, that doesn't work for a new person coming in and they got $50 and they trying to grow that $50. They need to hear very, very simple, realistic reality. Teach them how to, value their money, and then find a good quality setup so they don't get caught, bag holding or just picking a crappy stock to a degree. So, it requires that we say, well, if I'm gonna put down this $50, at least let me at least try to get nothing less than $15 out from it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that requires you get what I'm saying in that regard. And I think everybody who's watching, listening to you get it too. So, that's the goal. You just make sure that you try to find a better quality setup. And then your entry, once again, is everything. I cannot stress it. As our parents used to teach us, first impressions is everything. Well, in the stock market, entry is everything. It is everything. So patience is a virtue in there. And we just kind of keep showing you guys, everybody keeps sharing their ideas. We'll get this stuff down to a science in a sense.
Yes, indeed, man.
And we're going to keep at it.
There it is, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, African Emporium, man.
No, I appreciate it, Sal.
All right, so there it is, man. Appreciate Africa Emporium calling up, giving us the, again, if you're not in the Discord room, you don't know. If you're not in the Discord room, you don't know. He's been posting up some of his results over the last several days of trading, And, he's been doing a really, really great job. 400 here, 500 there, 700 here. Been doing an awesome job, man. Doing a really awesome job. And that's what, look, I feel like the last 3-4 days, of the show, man. I mean, if y'all want to retire me, man. That's what's up. I mean, I'm more than happy to put anybody on the air who can tell us how to, retire ourselves. And it's getting to a point, like I said, where, I'm waking up in the morning now when I used to have to write down this and this stock, this news came out. Now, I'm working with a strategy that implements a lot of stock god and bat scientists and what Africa Emporium is saying about sizing and whatnot. So I don't even have to do that work anymore. I'm getting to a point where I'm just like, man, what do I come on the show and talk about? Like, it probably won't be duplicated the next day anyway. We're not going to talk about the same stocks tomorrow that we talked about today. I very rarely do we actually talk about the same stocks yesterday, today, in terms of very aggressive intraday action. Usually we'll just have a one-day thing and then they move on. So I actually I'm kind of enjoying that lifestyle. Now, here's the thing, though. You run out of day trades relatively quickly. Those of you guys I've been watching you in the Discord room, you'll see an opportunity, but you can't take advantage of it because you got one day trade left, sometimes for the whole week. And it's only Tuesday, and I know some people who are out of day trades. And we're going into Wednesday tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Lloyd in the chat room. Yes, indeed. We about to wrap things up here. 773, you're going to be my last caller. Go ahead, 773, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Who am I speaking with?
Hey, I'm a newbie, man. I just discovered you. My name is Ed Hambris, and I emailed you a while back, man, and you responded right away, and I said, man, I really, really appreciated that, man. You gave me some great advice. I'm an older gentleman, man. I've been in the market over the years, and I was really into it during the .com era, and I got lazy and I got burned, and I stayed out of the market for roughly 15 years. In a little bit playing with commodities, gold and silver, and I'm at that point now, man, where I'm really ready to get back in. And I needed some quality time to get some education and some research behind it. And over the last month and a half, that's what I've been doing. And I was so fortunate to come across and learn about you, man. Your show has been a godsend. Your commentary is first rate. Your chat room, the Discord room, man, these guys and gals are on it, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
They are on it. Invaluable information.
Absolutely.
Man. I know what the theme is tonight, and me being a newbie to this, I've gotten my feet semi-wet just practicing with the different techniques and suggestions that people have been recommending, and I've come across some different sites that I've been utilizing to educate myself for, that I think that maybe some other new people that are out there and just getting their feet wet with this day trading might be of help. One of the sites that I go to that I've learned quite a bit of information from, has been a big help, has been Eat, Sleep, Profit. It's all one word. The guy who runs the site is a gentleman by the name of Jay. Invaluable information. Another gentleman is a guy that goes by the name of Eric Russell. Stock Guy talked about him. He has that Batman symbol on his site. Another outfit is Bullish Bears, a gentleman that goes by the name of Omar Soba. Again, excellent information. Tech Bud Solutions, a guy by the name of Ricky Gutierrez. Another gentleman, Adam Koo, and the Mind Blower. Literally, man, I didn't get a chance to listen to all of the show Friday night. So when I got up this last Saturday morning and started mowing the lawn, I was listening and Stock God just blew my mind. He rattled my cage, man. Immediately that evening, I got inside and I started looking at what he was doing and overlaying some of the things that I had learned. And I started putting it in practice on Monday. And, Monday, like he was saying, was kind of a dead day. I did it again today, and then he just dead on. That guy is dead on. Dead on. Really, really been a big help, man, in conjunction with everything else that I've been putting together. His website, of course, you've been there, the animation and his painting. Really love the information that he's had to offer. I look for a 2-to-1 or better ratio when I'm going in to make my trade. And other than that, man, tonight, I'll establish a watch list and I'll compare that with what's developed in the morning with respect to who's had the biggest mark percentage increase, volume. I like to look at the ATR, the average true range, to see, what that stock is ranging like. Is it a 20-cent move on average a day, a 16-cent move? Other than that, man, and again, patterns. I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking at volume. But Stock God really, he said it all. I mean, if you can't dumb it down any more than that, I don't know what else you can do.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, man. And thank you so much, caller. I appreciate you for watching. It's getting a little choppy on the call, so I'm going to let you go. But call back anytime, all right, man?
All right, Sal. Thank you, man.
Appreciate
Great
it.
show.
Thank you.
Show,
Thank
man.
you so much, man. Thank you so much for calling. And really appreciate you for that. We had a couple of trolls coming in the chat room today. I don't know what that was about, but shout out to all the mods getting those people out of there. And again, we're staying focused here, man. We're staying focused here. We're here to learn how to trade, how to make money. Some of you guys want to do this full time. Some of you guys just want to be able to make some couple $100 part time here and there. Some of you it's just a hobby, and but we want to stay on topic here. We want to stay on topic here. And shout out to the mods doing a good job of getting clowns out of here who don't have the same motivation. All right. Trading Jedi said Friday was dope. Sal didn't throw out enough racial controversy. Here's the thing about that stuff, man. I'm gonna lay off that stuff, man. Real talk. It's getting to a point where you can always find something to complain about, but at this point, man. We just got to do what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I just got to do me, man. And, I can't allow the pain and suffering that some people go through because it affects me because I care so much. You know what I'm saying? And I've been seeing it, starting to affect me emotionally sometimes. And it's not fair to me. It's not fair to my family. And stuff like that. So I gotta stay focused on this because now, I'm starting to play with a lot more money. You know what I'm saying? Paying my parents money now. They're giving me money to trade, and in terms of not giving it to me, but rather managing their financial future, man. They're putting it in my hands. And, my father's in his late 60s. My mom, she's in her late 50s. So, I can't afford to be, in my feelings on some bullshit when I got people's destinies on the line. You know what I'm saying? So right now, man, I'm 100% focused on learning how to trade, pattern recognition, timing, emotional control. I'm doing some meditation now. I can't allow what's going on in the world to affect me like that. And but it doesn't mean I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't care. But I can't be in my emotions like that, You know what I'm saying? Because some of the shit you just can't control, man. You just can't control anymore, man. And feeling hurt and, getting all twisted out of shape about it, it's just that's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. And I've been learning that actually just setting an example personally, by the way I carry myself, by the way I, do my show and just put out this positive energy in the world, man, that changes people more than just, oh my God, racism, I've noticed that impacts people more. Just living my life and trying to set a personal example of what it means to be a man of color that's out here living righteously. You know what I'm saying? Out here on the grind, having a business about himself, purpose. You know what I'm saying? Instead of complaining that, somebody's going to be out to get me or, but again, I don't shy it out to it. Again, it doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I'm blind to, structural oppression that's in, within this government and in this country. But I just can't be a whiner. You know what I'm saying? I can't be a whiner, man. I can't be a whiner. You know what I'm saying? Get your money up and get some lawyers for people. That's the way I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Start doing some real change, because that protesting shit, writing banners and hashtags, that ain't gonna do nothing. That's not gonna do nothing. Put them posters down, put your money together, put some lawyers up, and start making a change. Anyway, it's your boy Sal, man. I know some people got tickers to put out, but the way I've been studying, man, I don't need any tickers. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. There's some tickers that really look good that Bat Scientists put out for multiple day gains that look really good, that I'll take advantage of. One of them really being MYOS, man, where he put up the MYOS chart. I know what MYOS has done. So I'm very interested to see what MYOS is going to do. And it's about time that stock, explode. It's about time that stock explode, man. Relatively low float on that one too. Also talked about GBR. NVT was another one he brought up. That's looking really good because it's got a really nice RSI setup as well. 27 cents a share. Looks like it might be a situation where you can really get some good gains here. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show. Tomorrow's Wednesday. You guys know Wednesday is my day off. I will be back here Thursday, same time, same place. Obviously, check us out in the Discord room. Let me get that link. I think somebody's already posted it up. Let me see here. Where's the link? I will be sending the email to everybody who wanted the Tim Sykes videos. I got to find out a way to put how to make millions in a torrent so people can get it for free without having to go through that Nitro Fire stuff. But the problem is that the file is so freaking big, though. It'll take forever to do. So I just have to find the time to knock that out, because I know that how to make millions, along with his old stuff, that's just the bomb right there, man. That's the bomb right there. But to the people who emailed me, I'm going to send you the Tim Sykes links so you at least get, the older stuff. Not too old, like 2008 to I think 2011. You get all his classics. And it's a good start. It's a good start. There it is, Craig G right there with the link, man. Join us in the Discord room. All right. Subscribe to get your username up there. Those guys are going to be doing probably an after show. My throat is sore. I don't even join them for that. I don't know how y'all can go another 4 hours, but I guess we do that all the time on Fridays anyway. With that being said, see you guys in the Discord room. Trading Jedi, Bat Scientists, Africa Emporium, Jay Bino, all the people who called, man. Congratulations. Thank you to all the people who called. Michael B, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Henry Ramos, thank you. Who else is in here? All the young ladies who called up too. Shout out to Shamaka for coming back, man. I appreciate her kind words to me. Astrid. Who else? The other young lady. I forgot her name. I want to say her name is Susie, but it's not Susie. What's the other lady's name that? Gosh, young girl. I forgot her name. Aaron B, appreciate it. Donna Elise, Trader Marv, Flip, Three Hooks, Jiggity Imports, Jiggity J Imports, Killer Trades, Q-Tech, Mac3690. Appreciate it, man. Yes, indeed. I'll see you guys back here Thursday. Happy trading tomorrow, man. Trade safe. Olivia, that's her name. Thank you, Olivia, for the call. Appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, Thursday. I'm slipping the tongue today. Great show.